So I have been noticing that Vinny Jr.'s performances have not been as good as his previous year's performances. And that's not insane knowledge, that's not crazy to say because it's obvious. But even though he is playing good in certain games, he just came off a Barcelona match in which he got injured, but before he got injured he grabbed 2 assists and in my opinion dropped a good performance. So you would think after such a good performance we would be speaking positively about Vinny. But I don't think so. Vinny Jr., even though he did play good against Barcelona, it's just not the same Vinny. I would even say it's not the same Vinny from 2024. It's just not, and I can pinpoint to you when it happened. But before we get into that, let me give you 3 reasons why I think he isn't performing the way he used to perform. Number 1 is his confidence, because I don't know if you've realized when you would watch the matches and you look at Vinny Jr.'s face, he doesn't look very confident. Matter of fact, in his recent performances, I have noticed this guy's confidence has dropped. And why do I say so? Have you been noticing that Vinny Jr. doesn't take players on anymore? He doesn't take them on, it's almost like he's scared to do it. Or it's almost like he's leaving his skill moves in the vault. It's so weird, but it's very noticeable. He doesn't take players on anymore. It seems like he just carries the ball, tries to make an insane pass, or does a backwards pass. But it's rare that we see nowadays that he takes players on. And I think this happened ever since Ballon d'Or 2024, in which, in my personal opinion, you can disagree, you can have your own opinions, Vinny Jr. was robbed. He was clearly robbed. He was one of the best players in 2024. I don't understand how he didn't win the Ballon d'Or. And then there was one tweet he made when he said he will do this over and over and over. He'll do it 10 times over. And when he said that, immediately after, he had a match against Osasuna and this guy scored a hat-trick. He displayed that he is that good and that he deserves to win more Ballon d'Ors in the future. So he's playing good, he's playing good, he's playing good, he's playing good until the beginning of 2025. And this is where things truly took a change. Because it was a match against Valencia in which, for those of you that are OG, or not even OG, it's about 2 years ago, in which Vinny Jr. went up against Valencia and the whole racist abuse thing that truly launched a campaign of racism of where Vinny Jr. was complaining, and it was a whole terrible situation. And therefore him getting red carded in this match, January 3rd, 2025. He got red carded for, I believe, choking the goalkeeper. Now I'm not condoning this behavior, but I think this is where it began. It truly began here, because ever since this match, he has kind of been on the descent. He hasn't been scoring much, he hasn't been assisting much. His stats still look decent, but it doesn't look near to what it was last season. His performances has kind of stagnated, and honestly it's disappointing to see, because we know this is a great player. We know this is a fantastic player, and on his best day he is the best player in the world. We've seen this many times. His 2023/24 season was one of the best seasons in his career. Overall, that was a Ballon d'Or season, and don't care. You can even look at his performance against Dortmund in the 5-2 performance in which he scored a hat-trick. And if we go to his recent performances, you can just see this guy's confidence is not on that level anymore. He struggles to beat defenders. He makes the wrong decisions nowadays, and his passing, everything just doesn't look sharp. And where does this get us to? It gets us to number 2, which is the squad morale. Now the squad morale, you can clearly see these players look tired. They're tired, I don't even think they're happy at this point. They lack the sharpnesses, you can see it in the matches. That Barcelona match, which was the Copa del Rey final, Bellingham, everybody just looked like they were tired. They looked like they couldn't do anything great. The passing is off, the playmaking is off. Just the team as a whole were off in that first half. But you see, when you have quality players like Vinny Jr., like Bellingham, like Kylian Mbappe, they can turn it up. They can turn up the gas, and that is what Vinny did against Barcelona. Turned up the gas, he did some individual brilliance. And I hate the fact that people are so quick to blame him. They're so quick to criticize him, but he's one of the most hard-working players in the team. Whenever you look at attacks, it's either him or Mbappe who are creating plays on their own. And it's frustrating because you can clearly see they're trying. But people the fans, Real Madrid fans, they keep criticizing him, saying that he's poor, saying he's bad, but he's trying his best under bad circumstances because Carlo Ancelotti is one of the biggest problems. I think he's the reason for this team's downfall this season. Now sure, some people in the comments is gonna say, well, it's also up to the players need to play better, and I understand that. But we can't really always say that when the players are playing week in, week out, 70 plus games in the season. It's crazy. And obviously the players are gonna start to lack sharpness, they're gonna start to play tired, and that is the things that we saw happen to this team in this season. Number 3 could be the fact that Kylian Mbappe is in the team. So with Kylian Mbappe joining Real Madrid, Vini had to change his role. And also, even if you take the changing of roles away, Mbappe has overshadowed Vini. He's overshadowed Vini, he's kind of made Vini into his Benzema. Kylian Mbappe is like Cristiano, Vini is like Benzema. It is like a complete overshadowing. Mbappe has been performing better, whereas Vini Jr. has been just giving assists, working hard, but barely getting any credit. I even speak about myself. There's times I give Mbappe credit, but I overlook Vini. And if I can do it, then the same thing can happen for the entire fan base. Real Madrid fans, whether you like it or not, you are overlooking Vini. But Mbappe is also kind of creating a ripple effect in which Rodrigo might also leave. And he might leave because he's fully gotten overshadowed. He doesn't even get talked about nowadays. The only times people talk about him is he going to leave Real Madrid? So I think Mbappe's presence has genuinely affected the entire team. So we spoke about all the reasons why Vini Jr. is not performing anymore. But let's talk about how he can bounce back. And the first thing is Xabi Alonso. Xabi Alonso is the big factor. It all depends on how he uses Vini, what his tactics are gonna be, and how he can get the best out of both Mbappe and Vini at the same time. How he can get the best out of them simultaneously. And hopefully with a new formation, new tactics, things can change. And I heard a lot of rumors that there could be a lot of new signings. Maybe this can encourage Vini to play better. And the thing is, with these new signings, it could even get Vini's confidence back. Because we know with Vini struggling with confidence, maybe Xabi Alonso can bring that confidence back. Because one of the worst experiences as a player is to play under a manager who doesn't provide strong tactics. And that's what Carlo did. There was a rumor I saw recently that said that Carlo didn't even look into tactical adjustments against Arsenal. Now if a manager does that, you can imagine what will happen to the players. They're gonna be lost, and that's what happens. That's why in matches they always complain. They go to Ancelotti and they ask him what the hell is happening. And that has overall affected the team morale as well. Another thing that I think will change Vini is his behavior. I think his behavior has to change in order for him to move forward as a player. Now I understand it is difficult. The referees can sometimes make the wrong decisions. The Spanish crowds can also be racist. With Vini's case, if he can change his behavior, then I think we can get the best Vini Jr. But overall, I hope that with the new manager being Xabi Alonso, things can change for Vini and he can be put back on the correct direction and play as good as he used to play. Because to be honest, I miss that Vini. I miss the good Vini. The Vini who would not just be good actually, but carry the team at times. But that's my thoughts. Tell me your thoughts there in the comment section. But smash like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and peace out.